G'day, Mick from Jamana here. Couple of blokes, couple of beers. Marko on the ops. Marko, I think it's your shout, mate. Just no shandies, please.
So you had one job, big boy, after last week. Sit down, William.
Yeah, I'm sitting down.
You had one job.
Yes.
That was to get Rob Mills. So I imagine he's going to be walking into the studio at some stage anytime soon.
Can I tell you how busy Rob Mills is?
Well, what, with his King of Moomba sort of studies, or is he studying up?
He's doing a musical, so he's involved with that. He's
Righto.
also a dad-to-be. He's expecting.
Is he?
So just getting ready for that.
That's big news.
But I've been in contact with Millsy.
Yeah.
Because so when you contact someone and you're trying to hook them in, and you haven't spoken to them for a long time, you just got to bring up all the good times. And I just said, mate, I was thinking about you the other day in my text message. I was thinking about you, Millsy, the other day. Gee, I love the Spread Eagle. And as soon as I said the Spread Eagle, he came back to me. Because the Spread Eagle was where he played on Sunday nights.
And it was a great pub for Sunday nights.
Great pub.
Sunday night action in Melbourne, the Spread Eagle was a ripper.
So that's how. So anyway, so Millsy's in. It'll be next week or the week after, just when the rehearsals lighten up.
Did you tell him why? Because that's how I met my wife.
Of course I didn't.
Because of him?
No, I didn't do that. What I said, I said about that, but I didn't mention France at all.
Oh, okay.
There was no France mention.
French talk.
There was no mention of the capital city of France at all. I left that out.
So we're going to ambush him. I love it. That's very, very good. What do you reckon Millsy would have done? I always think of this sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. What would he have done if he wasn't like in theatre or? I mean, I don't even know.
He's pretty smart, Millsy.
How did he get into what he's doing? Does anyone even know?
Australian Idol.
That's how he did it.
He went on Australian Idol and he came third or fourth.
And that got him ticking over in the theatre space.
Well, he was on the year with Shannon Noll and Guy Sebastian, the first one. I reckon he came third or fourth.
That was the best ever one too, by the way.
Of course it was. Have a look at Guy Sebastian.
Sebastian. Who was the other bloke who should have won?
Shannon Noll.
Shannon Noll should have won.
No, Guy Sebastian deserved it.
Are you joking? Don't you dare say this.
One's an Aussie bogan. The other one has got the voice of an angel.
Hey, one of them has been pushed up by youngsters who don't know any better, and the other has more talent in his little finger.
You talking about Shannon Noll?
Shannon Noll is a superstar gun, underrated performer. Underrated, mate.
What do you mean, a gun?
A gun.
Have you seen Guy Sebastian's body of work? It is unbelievable.
If Shannon
it
Noll,
might be too metrosexual for you.
If Shannon Noll had won, he would have been the next John Farnham.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here.
That's how good he is.
And are you serious?
Yes.
And have a look at Guy Sebastian.
Not bad.
He's the next Bruno Mars.
Bruno.
He's a ripper.
Bruno Mars is good.
So you were just saying about Millsy what he'd be.
Yeah.
I've always thought about this with you. What would you have been if you were a golfer? And not working in your Allen's lolly factory as CEO or whatever. What would you have done?
When I was a kid, I was a little kid, I wanted to be a pizza man. Yes.
You wanted to flip pizzas?
I wanted to be a pizza man. I used to think, there was our little pizza restaurant in East Doncaster. We used to go after the Sunday footy. All the families would go to this pizza restaurant called Pompeo's out the back of East Doncaster. And they had a special window where the bloke who made all the dough would spin the pizza. And he'd sit there as a little kid and watch this guy spinning the pizza and making it into the big pie. And I used to think that bloke was so cool.
You had high expectations.
So
you were dreaming big.
So if anyone ever asked me what I wanted to do when I was in primary school, I used to say I wanted to be a pizza man.
Marko, the king of dominoes.
I wanted to spin that pizza
make
in the window at East Doncaster.
That is unbelievable.
Oh, that was great.
Spinning pizzas.
No.
Mate, I love pizza. It's one of the greatest things of all time.
Would you want to do it for 20 years or 30 years?
No. Then Dad wanted me to be an electrician. So I was
Sparky.
Yeah, I'd probably be driving 3 Ferraris now if I was an electrician the way they're all going. What about you? I can't imagine you. See, when you grew up, people don't understand this. You weren't just a good footballer. You were a prolific sportsman. Everything you did in sport when you grew up, basketball, the whole lot, you were very, very good at. Did you even think at any stage that you had to do something else for a living if it didn't work out?
No, I didn't. But no, I'm not being a smart. No, but I had a plan. I had a plan in case that didn't happen.
What was it?
Well, the first thing is I was going to change my name. So before anything else happened,
David Ornschwartz?
no, I was changing it all. And
Everything.
And I thought
Hang on, you were going to get rid of David Schwartz, which is a cracking name.
No, but I
It's
didn't
an
look
awesome
at it. I didn't
name.
look at it. I thought, how bad's this? So I'd spoken to Mum. And I said, I asked Mum, I said, Mum, if I change my name, would you mind? She said, why do you want to change your name? And I said, because if the commentators are calling my name out, it's got to be a good name. And David Schwartz isn't a good name.
You don't tell me that Mary ticked this off.
She ticked it off.
Oh, my God.
Do you want to know what my name was going to be?
Please.
Michael Davis.
That's the worst name of all. Where did you see Michael Davis?
I don't know. I
You
don't
just
know.
saw it somewhere and thought it was a cool name.
Well, my coach was Larry Davis, but I thought Michael Davis has just got a ripping ring to it.
Michael Davis.
Michael Davis. Here comes Michael Davis.
But do the same commentary with David Schwartz.
Here comes
David Schwartz.
No, see?
Schwartz.
No, Davis. Anyway.
Davis is better than Schwartz.
No, well, I don't think so.
I just
in
can't believe
hindsight, so it was going to be Michael Davis, right? And there's a lot of Michael Davises out there, so you kind of blend in. But if football fell over, if footy fell over, or if any of my sporting pursuits didn't work out, I was going to become a copper.
You were going to be
And
a
I'll
policeman.
tell you what, I was going to be a copper.
I can see that.
Oh, I'm telling you why. I would have been the dirtiest copper of all time. I would have been a shocker. I would have been a shocker.
You would have been...
I would have put up with nothing, no bullshit. It would have been on.
Would you have been the copper who took somebody into the interrogation room
Oh, yellow pages.
and the old school...
Yellow pages with the baton.
Yeah.
So put the yellow pages over the shoulder and just give them one.
Bang.
Especially graffiti artists. So they cop it first. All right? Thieves. Like if you steal... I understand people thieving because they're drug addicts or they've got a habit. I get that. But just thieving because you want to have something else.
mate.
Car thieves in particular. You steal a car. Oh, God.
What about the ones who do something to old people?
Any of that sort of stuff?
They
look
deserve
out.
something special.
You're going to get a bit of chin music. Now,
Yeah.
I know it's not endorsed in today's
Not
police.
anymore.
In today's police
But
rules.
back in the 90s when you were growing up and you would have been a cop,
Roger Rogerson, I reckon I would have been.
you would have been Roger Rogerson.
Something
So
like
that's a
that.
better name than Michael Davis.
Now, imagine
What's wrong
Roger-
with Roger Rogerson?
Roger Rogerson.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
name.
a ripper.
But he was a crook. He was a really bad crook. But my goal was going to be a cop.
I absolutely love it.
Oh, I think I would have made an all right cop too. Didn't end up getting to be a policeman, but I think my sister wanted to be a policeman as well. Actually, my sister, I think, wanted to be a chef at one stage. What
A
shocking-
chef?
My dad was a chef, and my grandma
Yeah.
was a chef.
Do they have
Was-
life chefs? Because they're always cooking when everyone else is having fun.
Yeah, they don't have a life.
They don't have a life. Like if you're a chef, my fun is going out to lunch with my mates, going to dinner with family and friends.
Awesome.
That's my life. If you're a cook, that's what you're doing when everyone else is having
Yeah,
fun.
it's shocking,
I don't
shocking.
get it. It's the worst job of all time.
So my grandma had a restaurant in Beechworth,
Yeah.
3 doors down from the Beechworth Bakery.
Oh, well, how's she going to survive?
So it was a German. No, it wasn't there at the time.
Oh, okay.
So it was a German restaurant, but it was a bloody popular restaurant.
Hang on.
No, she
There's a German restaurant in Beechwood.
Yes. What are you laughing
Were
at?
they selling sausages?
No. No.
What sort of sausage did they
it was-
serve?
No, schnitzels and Brat House and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
But no, it was also
In
Australian,
Beechworth?
it was also Australian cuisine, right? And it's right next door to where the lolly shop is now in Beechworth.
So you got the bakery, the lolly shop, and the German restaurant.
Grandma's. So I used to go there, and Grandma would pay me $20 to vacuum the carpet. Anyway, so when Grandma passed, the restaurant got sold, and it became a Chinese restaurant, and a really good Chinese restaurant. It's still there today.
Right.
My auntie passed away. All right, so this is only a couple of years ago. Indiana was 13.
Right.
And we're driving from the church.
Why are you laughing
We're
after your
driving
auntie's passed away, dude?
We love Auntie Kate. She was a superstar. She died of a heart attack watching the Pies, and she's Collingwood's supporter.
Oh, I like it.
You weren't doing enough that day. And she had the shits, and your club killed my auntie.
Another one on Buckley.
And I love Auntie
You
Kate.
mongrel.
And Auntie Kate was one of my favourites.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we go from the church
Yeah.
down to the bowling club in Beechworth, which is
Right.
down past the main street.
Yeah.
And as we're going down the main street, I said to my kids, because my kids hadn't really known a lot about our family, I said, see that restaurant there? That was Grandma's.
Right.
And Indy turns around and says, "Dad, are we Chinese?"
Oh, you're joking. Oh, that is so
I
good.
said, "No, Indy. It was used to be a German restaurant." She goes, "Oh, I thought so." Like, it was one of the cutest, most innocent little things. I went and told Mum, and Mum, because Mum was sad about
That's
Kate.
a very funny
so
story.
it lightened the whole mood of the funeral. And anyway, so life goes on. Life.
That is magnificent.
Goodness me.
How would the policeman Michael Davis, police officer Davis, back in 1990, how would you have handled someone saying I'm a sovereign citizen?
Caveman style.
Yes.
You drag them by the hair out of the car, and you handcuff them. You handcuff them. You know, now this is a trend that's taking off. This sovereign citizenship. For those that don't know what it is, it's where people get pulled up. They refuse to give their name, their ID. They refuse to take a breatho. But
It's
different
disgusting.
states have different laws. So in Victoria, for example, if you get pulled over, you have to give a sample, a breath or a drug sample.
Correct.
And you have to identify yourself if asked.
Right. That keeps our roads safe.
And
Well done.
And as a copper, if I'm a copper, I'm enforcing that to the very nth degree.
Good work, Sergeant Davis.
If you don't have respect for the police, well, guess what? We have anarchy. We have anarchy, Marko.
That is the number one law that the whole world should run by. Respect and obey police.
One of my favourite shows ever on TV is Cops.
Yeah, I
Now, a
agree.
little bit of chin music occasionally for these baddies.
Good entertainment.
You want to not only good entertainment, but a good learning curve for those that want to buck the system.
Yes.
I'm all for it.
We've all got to learn.
Oh, absolutely.
Some of us the hard way.
The hard way.
Correct.
And when face meets bonnet or face meets gravel,
Hey,
it's a learning curve.
that's all it is. We're not trying to hurt you. We're trying to educate you.
And I think it's civil selfishness.
Yes.
If you don't.
Complain.
Not if you don't complain. No, civil selfishness is if you do complain, but if you don't listen to the police.
Lovely. Now, there is a bit of a recurring theme with you here.
What's that?
And your your manhandling ways.
vigilantiness.
Sergeant Davis. We've got a lot of feedback from the spray paint
Oh, yes. Yeah.
saga
Yeah.
that you went through when you were putting spray paint up some kid's nose and ears and all the rest of it.
No, I didn't. No, Mark. I taught him a lesson. Don't spray paint anyone's fence that's not theirs.
Do you want to hear some of the feedback that we've got off our socials? This was from David. He calls himself Wallagoo Wobbly. Well done, Ox. It may teach him a lesson.
Sometimes you just got to learn the hard way.
This one from Darren Loves Beer.
Oh, yeah, God, he does. He does.
Darren House is his name. Order of Australia worthy. And
There you go. Okay, all
He's
right.
giving you a toast with emojis, a little hand and the beer. So he's toasting you.
We spoke about the Order of Australia. Do I nominate myself, or do I have to get someone to nominate me to win the Order of Australia?
I think in real awards, you have to get someone to nominate you.
All right.
I don't think you nominate
Can
yourself.
you do that?
Yeah, I can do it for you.
Thank you.
Consider it done.
Thanks, Dazzler.
Now from Robin. I love Robin. RV27 Robin. He actually did well to chase the kid down.
No,
he
he
has
didn't.
to
It was
show
fit as
the
a
kid
fiddle.
graffiti is bad in some way. And it will show their parents what they've been up to. So Robin knows
There
her
you go.
stuff.
There you go.
Very, very good. Well
Hey,
done.
actually, there was another one too.
Hey, one more. I need to know, did Darren Gaspar catch the other kid? That's a really good question.
He got him, and guess what?
What happened?
Gassy then left and went back to Perth. Guess what he did?
What?
Became a cop.
No.
He
You're
became
joking.
a copper.
That inspired him.
Yep. I don't know if it inspired him. I just think he couldn't find any other work. So he
This
became
one
a copper.
From Jeff Whitcomb. Great stuff. No small complaints here. Well done, Oxford, chasing that little grub.
Yep.
I love, by the way, I love the word grub.
Grub is a great word.
So good.
Yep.
I did a similar thing many years ago when kids were throwing rocks at cars from behind bushes. I chased the mongrel and trapped him over a fence. Little arseholes.
Well, there you go.
Thanks for all the feedback. We really appreciate it. Keep it all coming.
I don't think a lot of people like just poor behaviour. Like, that's just poor behaviour. Graffiti.
It's disgusting,
If
mate.
my kid was walking around the streets, I would know if he's got a backpack full of spray cans.
Yeah, well,
I'd say, give us a look in your backpack, Coops.
You blame mum and dad.
Of course I blame mum and dad.
Yeah, I do too. You know what they're up to.
Not hard.
You know what
if
they're
your
up
kid's
to.
not home at 10 o'clock at night and he's out and he comes home and he's covered in paint. You know, he hasn't got a part-time job at a Wreckers. You know he's up to no good.
Thanks again to everybody who sent in the stuff on the socials. We really appreciate it. Keep following us there. Give us a like if you can. We've got to have a break. You've got some civil selfishness. I've been
Got a couple up my sleeve, yeah.
You do. I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
You're listening to A Couple of Blokes, Couple of Beers with Marko and our special guest host today, Sergeant Michael Davis. We're on socials, Facebook, Insta, TikTok and Twitter, and we'd love you to shoot through any comments or questions or feedback and get involved with the show. But now, back to the boys.
You've still got me thinking about grub. Grub is just...
I reckon
It
grub
just covers so many features of people you don't like.
grub is a really derogative term, I reckon. Like, it nails it. Like, because I don't think... Actually, my brother-in-law, his nickname's Grub.
Yeah, but see...
Now, why? Hang on, I don't even know why his nickname is Grub.
Yeah, but you can use it... See, grub changes when you use tone of voice.
But we used to say to our kids all the time, geez, you're a little grub.
Yeah, that's right. You know, you're a little grub.
Because
You're a little grub.
You've got all food over
You're a
your
little
face
grub.
or you're dirty.
Or you can say, you are a grub, right? It changes the complexion completely.
You got an angry.
mate.
When you go up at Octon, you
know my other
seriously
one
go,
for that? Rat.
Oh, yeah.
You rat! Mate. Oh, it is the best. If someone's done
I know
something
who you
wrong
learnt
with it-
that off.
Yeah, that was...
You learnt that off Greg Chappell.
The captain of Australia.
Captain of Australia.
Have we told this story before?
I don't know if we've told the story. We went on a function up to Port Douglas.
That's right.
And we went to the pub, and there's a heap of sports people there.
I was buying a drink, and I promise you there was nothing in this. People won't believe this, but I was waiting and waiting and waiting. There was a girl next to me. She said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I'm with all these guys."
I would say Marko went to work with one conversation, and she started talking to Marko.
Anyway,
She had a boyfriend.
and
the boyfriend-
who was blind and big
And tats.
and tough looking.
But he didn't realise what was in the room. So there was a lot of footballers.
NRL players.
A lot of NRL
A
players.
lot of wallabies.
There was a
Danger Will
world
Robinson.
boxing champ in there.
Jeff Fennick.
Jeff Fennick. So
Danger Will Robinson.
and he was probably outnumbered 30-1.
So I see what's going on. The bloke came over as I was finishing up, and I knew he didn't like me straight away.
And he's
he didn't
circling.
want me. He didn't want me next to his girlfriend.
He's like a shark.
I've got 4 or 5 vodka lime and sodas or whatever the hell I had,
Shandies.
and I'm taking them back to the boys. Anyway, so I've delivered them all, sat back, and here he comes.
He's starting to circle.
And he does not care.
Burn it.
He did not care
Was he
who
maggoted?
we were with. So I'm thinking, who am I going to stand next to?
Was he negative?
Blind. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do here? What am I going to do here?
We're near the pool table.
So I just walked across to Jeff Fennick, stood next to him, right? And he didn't care. He was coming. You know, everyone's talking. I said, Greg Chappell. I said, Greg, watch out, mate. Just watch out. I'm trying to protect Greg Chappell because he was kind of the oldest one there. I said, Greg, just watch yourself here. Watch yourself because this bloke's coming over and he means business. He goes, what are you talking about? I quickly told him what happened. Anyway, all the rugby players, all the Wallabies, all the footballers, they just stood there. Jeff Fennick just stood there. This bloke started walking towards me, and Greg Chappell, the captain of Australia, said, "You get away from here, you rat!" Like that. It was fear of God
but
was
you had
put
to
into
see
this
the-
bloke.
You had to see the look on Greg's face.
It was incredible.
He snapped. He snapped.
And now you know why he was such a great captain for Australia, because he had that in him.
Still,
And this little bloke, he walked away with his tail between his legs. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, well, that's where rat comes from. I still, thank you, Greg, if you're listening. I still love using the word rat.
I like Super Duper.
Super duper.
Yeah, I like Super Duper.
Hang on a second, you've gone from rat to super duper. Well, that's super duper.
No, because you can have some good words there. My kids use Super Duper a bit.
No, you would use super duper when you're talking to your wife or something like that. That's super duper.
Super Duper. And the other one that's been lost on us is grouse.
Grouse is
Remember
making a comeback.
Grouse was used
Yeah,
all the time.
grouse, yeah.
So we used to rhyme slang grouse with Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
That's Mickey Mouse,
Mickey
grouse.
Mouse, grouse, yeah.
But that's been lost.
Yeah.
Driving now, though, knob jockey.
What if you're driving?
No, if you're
you won't
driving down
call
the road
somebody.
and someone cuts you off, good on you, knob jockey.
Yeah, see, I use cockhead. Get out of my way, you cockhead.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah,
There's a lot. There's a
stacks.
lot. You can't do it with. Do you get caught swearing in the car with the kids?
Yes, all the time.
Oh no.
All the time.
Oh, at least you're honest.
Yeah. You?
I didn't think so. I didn't think so. And then I think Indy was about 6 or 7, and she dropped a couple of F-bombs.
Yeah.
Karen says, "Where'd you get that?" In the car
In the
with
car,
Dad.
Dad, yeah.
In the car with Dad.
But you know what happens when when your kids are growing up a bit and they've got their phone? The cars, even though you got them in the car, it's a lonely place.
Yeah.
Because they've got their ear things in.
Yeah.
And they're busy.
Yep.
And you know that you're not required in their lives just at the moment. So you're in your little,
All right, so
you've
what-
almost got a cone of silence that comes down and you're sitting there. You just think you can do whatever the hell you like. And quite often, get out of the way, cockhead.
But what about
comes
how,
out?
What about how many times I've rang you
Yes.
and I start swearing straight away, and Marko doesn't tell me straight away. He waits 30 seconds. He goes, "I've got Trish and the kids in the car, and I've dropped F's and C's and D's and B's." But he doesn't do it straight away.
That's on him, not you.
So my rule is now, if I've got anyone in the car, anyone at all, whether
Straight
it's my
away.
mum, I just say, if you ring, I say,
Straight
"G'day,
away.
Mark, I'm just in the car with mum."
Mary's in the car.
Yep. bang.
G'day, Mary. How are you?
G'day, Mary. I'll call you back later. I can't say what I was going to say. But that's just etiquette.
Yeah,
That's
true.
just etiquette.
Nah, that's true.
Any other words you use?
No, that's about it.
I like peckerhead too.
Peckerhead.
Peckerhead's a ripper. My
Is
grandpa.
that for youngsters? You call them a peckerhead?
Yeah,
Or do you-
peckerhead. Yeah. But grandpa used to say
I had
peckerhead.
I had an aunt.
So he didn't want to
who
swear. So he
would
just
say
shut
shit.
up peckerhead.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Instead of shit.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Well, Ross Stevenson's a bulltish,
Bulltish, yeah.
but he obviously can't say it on radio.
No, that's right.
We got a bit more license
we can say bullshit
We got
if we wanna
license
say
to
it.
thrill here on the podcast.
Oh, we can swear as much as we like. All right, so I'm civil selfished out. I've
yeah.
got nothing more to contribute.
Really?
Have you got anything this week?
Got a couple.
Go on.
I got a couple. Nature strip.
Yeah.
All right, you know your nature strip.
Yeah,
right?
you
And
gotta
how
keep
you
it
look.
tidy.
You know how you look after your nature strip.
Got to keep it tidy for the rest of the street.
Okay, so we've got our nature strip. We've got a tree at the front that's been leaning for a long time.
Right.
So what we did is
The leaning tree of Pisa.
Yeah, but it's to a point where it's dangerous. So I rang up the council and said, "You've got to come and chop it down because you can't chop down the nature strip trees without permission." Anyway, so after 2 years, they finally came and cut it down. Now, I've been, my nature strip, as you know, it is the botanical
Pristine.
garden. It is beautiful.
Because you're a lawn
'Cause I-
enthusiast.
Exactly right. So
Yes,
I'm
that's
doing the
right.
right thing with this tree,
Very
I've
nice
just
of you.
looked after it. I've, cut the branches down when I needed to. They were just hanging on.
Did you think about putting a crutch up? You know those crutches you see at trees?
No,
Those-
it had one, but it was
It already had
leaning.
a crutch.
Because we're on a sand base and there'd been a bit of rain, it started to even lean further. And I thought, it's going to
God.
hit the road here.
Yeah, okay.
So I did the right thing, and I thought, beauty, you're going to cut it down. I'll leave the firewood there. I'll use the firewood. I'll stack it all up.
Yeah.
It'll be all perfect.
Waste not, want not.
It's my nature
Well
strip.
done.
So they decided to cut it down on a Wednesday morning at 7:30.
They did not.
So, which is okay. It's a Wednesday.
early.
It's an early, but they got there at 7:30. They probably
Yeah, right.
started cutting at 8:30.
Yeah.
What do I do Wednesday mornings, Mark?
You play golf.
Okay, so I got home at 12:30, and guess what?
Don't tell me they took the firewood away.
They didn't.
Who?
My neighbour did.
No, that's your tree.
It's my tree. That is civil selfishness 101. And I'll take
That's
it.
disgusting.
I'll take it even a step further, Mark.
Go on.
They've been burning it.
Well, you came home to the smell of your own firewood being burnt next
Yes.
door?
But do you know?
Are you joking?
Do you know firewood burning 101 rule?
What's that?
You got to wait till the wood dries out.
Oh, that's right.
Otherwise, it smells and smokes.
How long
Like
does it take? Takes a couple of weeks?
It takes a year. Takes a year, 6 months to a year, for a tree to actually dry out and before it becomes good firewood. Otherwise, you're smoking the bandit. So not only has he stolen my wood, he's then burnt it wet, and you can't even put the washing out now. That is civil selfishness 101. He didn't even ask me. He just came and stole it off my nature strip.
He is leading our ladder. That's the number one civil
How
selfish
bad is
act.
that?
That's the clubhouse leader. Yep.
And I'll say one other thing about this bloke.
That's going to be hard to beat.
I'll say one other thing about this bloke. And I really like him. He's a good mate.
You mean this grub?
This peckerhead. He's got a statesman. A V8 Statesman.
What,
It
from the
is-
1970s?
No. It's a 2013 model. It's a ripping car.
Right.
But it's got an exhaust pipe like this.
That happens on purpose. You've got to adjust the car to make it do that.
So what he does, because he's a car enthusiast, he gets up in the morning at let's say 8 o'clock.
Right.
He turns the car on.
Oh, he's one of those blokes that has to warm the car up.
He warms the car up.
Oh,
He
my
goes
God.
inside, make a coffee, and the car's
my
going.
God.
Sounds like a speedboat. He's sitting on the nature strip. By the time he takes off. Like coming down there's got to be a rule.
Right.
There's got to be a rule with V8s and warming your car up and how you take off. I don't know if we can. I don't know what to do.
Well, he'll be forever known as your peckerhead neighbour. He's the clubhouse leader, and that will almost be impossible to beat.
What movie was it where they put a banana in the exhaust pipe?
Was it anything else but loose or any of that crazy
but I
show
think
with
there was also
the
one
monkey?
Get the green. No, it wasn't Miss Congeniality. Don't go down the Sandra Bullock path, please. There was Get the Gringo where they put the rag in there, and then he just went. Popped them both off, but I'm thinking about putting a couple of bananas in his tailpipe.
There's something.
But I do love the Holden V8s.
Yeah.
Like I do love the
Still,
Holden.
that's a peckerhead act.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, when are you going to talk to him about it? You can't come on here and go off like you go off without having a word to him.
Well, you know I've sold my house in Bowness. So I've got
some poor other bastards. It's his problem
I've
now.
got about 4 weeks. I've got about 4 weeks up my sleeve just to give him a goodbye message.
The people who bought the house, did you give them any warning about this sort of
I told
behaviour?
them exactly the truth. I said they are the greatest neighbours you'll ever have.
All right, well, that's a ripper. What else you got?
Okay, I love celebrating with friends and having people over. I'm a bit of a social butterfly.
I know that.
I love
it. It's actually a really nice feature of
There is
your
one rule,
personality.
though. If you just say you haven't organised your food and you're just going to get pizzas, you're just going to have a pizza night.
Yeah.
There is one thing that really bugs me. If you are ordering pizzas for a group of people, and let's say there's 8 of you, so you're probably ordering about 4 to 6 pizzas, big family ones, you've got to ask the people in the party what they like and what they don't like. Now, not everyone's going to agree. But there are some things on pizzas that people just won't have. So I've been to a lot of places of late.
I've got one.
Where I've had pizza nights, and they'll order pizzas, and every bloody pizza comes with olives, or comes with anchovies, or comes with pineapple. Like, they don't ask.
Their specialities.
Of course, they're specialities. So if I went to your place, Marko, and you've got 10 people there, and I was ordering pizzas, I'd say, does everybody like anchovies?
Correct.
Does everybody like olives?
That's
does
a
everybody...
courtesy.
And if one person says no, I said, all right, I'll get a pizza without. I'll get 2 pizzas without anchovies, or 2 pizzas without olives. That's right. That is civil selfishness 101.
If they don't ask. That's right. So if there's one person of the 8 goes, I like olives, you go, all right, I'll get 1 pizza with olives.
There you go.
Pretty simple.
So that's happened of recent, and the olives is the big one for me, because the olives are on most pizzas except for wine. So if you don't like olives, and I don't, it ruins the whole flavour of the pizza.
But I do like anchovies.
I love an anchovy.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
In fact, I'll double up on the anchovies.
Just on all that, you've just inspired me for a Can We Still Be Friends?
Oh, really?
And I didn't have anything this week, so this is a miracle, right? This is a miracle. If I put and ordered chicken on a pizza, can we still be friends?
Yep, you'd be King of Moomba.
No. You wouldn't be. You're not my friend, mate.
Are you serious?
If you dare,
Billy picking on pizza is the go-to.
if you put chicken and then put barbecue sauce on that chicken on that pizza, you cannot be a friend of mine.
Are you serious? Really?
Yep, I feel that strongly about it.
Are you serious?
It's disgusting,
Oh,
mate.
no. Well, the Sade chicken pizza is one of my go-tos.
Mate, you want chicken and barbecue sauce? Put it in a sandwich. All right, put it in a wrap.
Well, what do you have
Put
on
some
yours?
lettuce on
What
it.
do you have on yours?
Ham, capsicum, anchovies.
Well, have a ham.
Done.
Well, have
Pepperoni.
Have a ham and cheese sandwich or a ham and pepperoni sandwich.
No,
Please,
that's pizza
chicken.
food.
What is ham?
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni, yeah.
Pepperoni's pizza
But
food.
chicken, really good.
Not on a pizza.
Shredded chicken.
I'm going to have to reevaluate our situation. If you're ordering, how often do you do it? Not all the time.
No, well, I've got to.
What about the tandoori chicken on a pizza?
Absolutely.
No, David, no.
Marko, I've got to. What did I do during COVID? I built a pizza oven.
Yeah, you did.
And I'm telling you now, the chicken in the pizza, it's gorgeous.
No, mate. You're making a mistake here.
All right. Well, let's agree to disagree on that. I still want to be your friend.
We might have to put out.
I still want to be your mate.
We might have to. Well, let me think about it. We might have to. I'll tell you what we'll do.
All right.
We'll put it out on our socials whether it is acceptable
Or unacceptable.
Okay. We'll do that and we'll get the results next week.
Fair enough.
Hey, just before we get into the joke, do not forget Rob Mills. That is your homework. You've got to get him in the studio somehow.
I'm going to get him. I told you that. He's just busy with his kingdom.
Don't let me down.
Once he finishes off at the theatre, once he's done all that and he has a kid.
He's going to find time to come on our show.
Man, I'm telling you. I haven't mentioned France, though. So I haven't mentioned France.
Don't.
So we've got to blindside him on France, all right?
Yeah, it's good. Let's spin the wheel. All right, blonde joke, dad joke, stuff all that. Come on, let's just do a vegan joke. Let's go for a new category, please. A vegan joke. Just find a vegan joke.
Oh, there you go.
Find a vegan joke. Go to Siri, type it in. Vegan jokes are great.
Oh, here we go.
I love making fun of vegans.
Okay. I was a vegan for 6 months, remember that?
Yeah, I know. It was the worst 6 months of my life. You were just a pain in the ass.
It was the worst 6 months of my life.
Yeah.
Oh, you feel better. Felt like a bag of potatoes. Anyway, hey, what's the toughest thing about living a vegan life, Marko?
I don't know.
Getting up at 5 a.m. to milk the almonds.
Magnificent. Right, I'll see you next week.
Will do.
Marko holding the fort while Ox is away, and thanks to our special guest co-host, Sergeant Michael Davis. Don't forget, it's really helpful if you can rate and review the podcast, and also to hit subscribe so you'll always get the latest episode each Wednesday. And message us anytime if you see anything you think the boys should talk about. You can send us an audio message and we'll get you on. You can do that at coupleofblokescoupleofbeers.com. Couple of Blokes, Couple of Beers executive producer, Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media. Sound design, Daryl Misson from loudzebra.com.
I don't understand what tofu is.
I thought, is it like a marshmallow? What the hell is it?
That was like a marshmallow.
I don't even know what it is.
What's in tofu?
What do I look like, Tofu King?
Oh, let's find out. We'll do some Siri. We'll do some Siriness and find out.